Hello students, welcome to our live session of chapter 8 Introduction to Trigonometry. So we are going to solve few concepts as well as the questions related to trigonometry which are present in sample paper. Okay, so just give me 2 minutes. I will just cross check whether everything is fine with respect to audio and video. There is the questions related to trigonometry which are present in sample. Okay, could see audio is fine. So let's start with the questions. Okay, as mentioned, first I will discuss the concepts related to this chapter and then we'll solve the questions. Okay, from this trigonometry chapter, we have the weightage of 3 marks, 1, 2 marks, 5 and 3, 1 mark. So total 8 marks weightage is present from this chapter. Okay, so in the previous live session which I scheduled at 8 p.m. there I have covered questions related to 7th chapter which is introduction to coordinate geometry. So now we're going to solve the questions related to 8th chapter which is introduction to trigonometry. Okay, so here I'll just change the weightage. The previous chapter weightage is 7 marks, but this chapter the weightage is 8 marks. Okay, so this is also very I can say easy chapter if you remember only few concepts, only I think 2 or 3 concepts as well. I will explain what those concepts, and then you have to just keep on trying, then definitely you can, if you practice more, then definitely you can also rock this chapter as well. Okay, this is, I can say, one of, okay, no, I will not say tricky chapter, because if you understand the concepts and if you practice, definitely it is also easy chapter. Okay, so let's solve the concepts first behind this chapter. Okay, I will explain the concepts. What are the concepts? So cover those and then we'll start with the questions related to this sample paper. So the concepts from this are, first one, table of values. Table of values instance all trigonometry which is 6 trigonometry values from which are 0, 30 degrees, 45, 60 and 90. So you have to remember for all 6 trigonometry values. Okay, sine, cos, tan, cosecant, secant and cot. So all those 6 you have to remember for 6 angles which are 0, 30, 60, 45 and 90 degrees. And then identities. We have 3 identities. We have to remember those 3 identities. Okay, and then relation. Relation between each trigonometry ratio. That's it. So if you remember these 3, then definitely all this, any questions from this chapter we can solve it. Okay, so let's first cover the first concept which is table of values, and this I'm saying very important, so at least see weekly once this table so that you will remember for more time. Okay, if you remember this table, then at least I can say 3 to 4 marks of questions can be solved easily. Okay, and next if you cover the identities, then rest all the concepts are done for this chapter. Okay, so how to remember the trick also I'll explain you this table. So as I told you, total 6 trigonometry ratios are there which are sine, cos, tan, cosecant, secant and cot. 6 trigonometry ratios, and as I told you, you have to remember these 6 for 5 degrees, which are 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. The ratios are 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. Okay, I drawn one more extra, I'll just erase it. So this is ratio and this is degree. So sin 0 value is 0, sin 30 1 by 2, sin 45 1 by root 2, sin 60 root 3 by 2 and sin 90 is 1. If you remember at least one sine line, then from I will tell you a trick how to write for all the other values. Okay, so always remember at least sine, then yes, we can get other values also. But if you forget, if you able to remember rest all, then it's very good. If not also, at least remember the sine line. From here we can write any other values. Okay, the cos is simple, just write the opposite of sine, which is 1 root 3 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by 2, 0. See, cos is very easy if you remember sine. So now tan, how to get it? Tan is nothing but sine by cos. Okay, so here it is 0, 1 by root 3, 1 by root 2 by 1 by root 2, which is 1, root 3 by 2 by 1, which is root 3, and this is 1 by 0. 1 by 0 you don't have value, so you have to write it as infinite. Okay, whereas for cosecant is 1 by sine, write it here. Cosecant is nothing but 1 by sine. So 1 by 0 is undefined, 1 by 1 by 2 is 2, 1 by 1 by root 2 is root 2, this is 2 by root 3, the next is 1 by 1 is 1. For secant is again similar to cos and sine, so this is 1 by cos we can do, or else simply reverse of cosecant also it will work. Okay, so reverse of cosecant is 1, 2 by root 3, root 2, 2 and infinite. For cot is nothing but 1 by tan here. Okay, and for tan, as I told you, it is sine by cos. Okay, so for cot, as I told you, if you remember tan, just write an opposite, 0, root 3, 1, 1 by root 3, and this is 0. Okay, so for tan and cot it will be two cases, 1 by tan is cot and reverse is also cot, which is tan 90 minus theta is also cot. Okay, this is one table which I have remember, and then we have one more with respect to axis, that is coordinates. Okay, so that we have the second one. So coordinates we have first coordinate, second coordinate, third coordinate and fourth coordinate. We have total 4 quadrants. Okay, so hope you are liking this session. So let's continue. So in this quadrants you have to only Okay, in the first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are positive. That is sine, cos, tan, cosecant, secant, and cot. All are positive. Okay, so which is 0 to suppose x to 90 degrees. All values are, all trigonometric ratios are positive. Whereas in second quadrant, we have sine and cosecant are positive. Why cosecant is positive, sine is positive? Because cosecant is nothing but 1 by sine. So if sine is positive, then 1 by sine is also positive. Hence, these two are positive here. In the third quadrant, we have tan and cot. These two are positive, rest all are negative. And in the fourth quadrant, we have cos and secant. These two are positive. And repeating again. So we have 4 quadrants total, 1 and 2, 3, 4. So in the first quadrant, all are positive. In the second quadrant, sine and cosecant are positive. What is second quadrant? Which is 90 x to 180. So between 90 to 180 is second quadrant. So in the second quadrant, sine and cosecant are positive. In the third quadrant, which is 180 less than x less than 270. Here tan and cot are positive. And then the fourth quadrant, which is 270 less than x less than 360, we have cos and secant are positive. So in if you have somewhere in this angle, then these are positive. Between these two angles, this is positive. If this angle, sine and cosecant are positive. Okay, and the last topic which I told you, relation. So the relation I already covered, but still I will write in detail. Okay, next I will explain the identities I told you. So I will explain the identities first. So trigonometry, we have only 3 identities. You have to remember those 3. But if you remember one also, you can derive other 2. That also I will explain. The first one is very important because using this we can get other 2 if we have any doubt. So the first identity is sine square x plus cos square x is equal to 1. This, if you remember, the same way like a trigonometry table I told you, if you remember the first one, you can derive others. Same way here, if you remember the first identity, which is sine square x plus cos square x is equal to 1, we can derive the other 2 identities by ourselves. Okay, the second one, secant square theta or secant square x minus tan square x is equal to 1. And the third one, cosecant square x minus secant square x is equal to 1. Okay, I will tell you how to derive these two from this first one. So from first one, what I will move is, I will move cos square x to the right side. I will get sin square x is equal to 1 minus cos square x. Okay, now if I divide by sin square x on both sides, what I will get? I will get 1 is equal to 1 by sin square x. 1 by sin I told you it is nothing but cosecant. Cosecant square x minus cos by sin is nothing but cot square x. See, I got the third one. It is somewhere I wrote a mistake. Yeah, this should be cot, not cosecant. Cosecant square x minus cot square x is equal to 1. Okay, same way I will derive the second one. So here I will keep cos square x and I will move the sin square x, it becomes 1 minus sin square x. Okay, so now if I divide cos square x on both sides, I will get 1 is equal to secant square x minus tan square x, which is nothing but the second identity. Okay, so hope you understood how to derive ourselves the second and third if you have a doubt. So but first one is very easy because you don't have minus sign here, so it is very easy to remember. Whereas if you have minus sign, somewhere we can get a doubt which is tan is left side or secant is left side. Okay, so this is positive, so it is very easy. Sin square plus cos square is equal to 1. From here, just move 1 to the other side, divide by sin square or divide by cos square, will get the other two ratios. Okay, so now let's move to the questions. So as I told you, we have total 3 MCQs, 1 2 marks and 1 3 marks. We will solve all one by one. The first one, fifth question, they are asking just a minute, I am keeping a hashtag so that it can reach to few people who is on need. Now let's continue. So sin x secant theta plus tan theta is equal to x. Are asking us secant theta minus tan theta will be. Okay, so we have to remember the second identity here. You have to use it, and then this question can be solved easily. What is the second identity? Secant square x minus tan square x is equal to 1. So I will write that equation first. Secant square x minus tan square x is equal to 1. So what is a square minus b square formula? A square minus b square is a minus b into a plus b, or a plus b into a minus b. So I will write this equation here. So here I will write secant x plus tan x into secant x minus tan x is equal to 1. Secant x minus tan x I provided, which is x. So x into secant x minus tan x is equal to 1. So what is secant x minus tan x? 1 by x. Okay, this is very easy question. The answer is D. Let's move to the next one. 2 sin 5x is equal to root 3, and they have told you x is between 0 to 90, so which is nothing but first quadrant. Okay, so if I move 2 to the right side, I will get sin 5x is equal to root 3 by 2. So if you remember the table which we discussed before, so where is root 3 by 2 in sine table? Here it is at 60 degrees. Hence 5x is nothing but 60 degrees. So x is equal to 60 by 5, which is 12. So B is the right answer. Okay, let's move to this third MCQ or assessment division question here. So saying that cos a plus cos square a is equal to 1. Cos a plus cos square a is equal to 1. Fine. So I will get cos a as 1 minus cos square a. If you remember the first identity, sin square s plus cos square s is equal to 1, or I can say, okay, cos square x, okay, sin square x is equal to 1 minus cos square x. So here I wrote 1 minus cos square a, so which is nothing but sin square a. Now I got cos a as sin square a. If you write sin square a, cos a place, if you write sin square a in 1, I will get cos a, I will write it as sin square a. Cos square a, which is nothing but sin square a whole square, which is sin power 4a. So it is satisfying. Hence this statement is true. And how I got this? Using this relation. Hence both are true and it is a proper explanation. So answer should be A, where assertion and reason are correct, and reason is the correct explanation for our assertion. Okay. Now let's move to the section B questions. In section B we have one 2 marks question, which is 22nd question. Okay. So let's solve this. Sine of a plus b is equal to 1. So if you remember the table again, we'll solve this question. That's why I told you, if you remember the table, at least 2 to 3 marks, 100% you can solve it. Only by table itself, not even identities or ratios. Okay. So if you remember the table, take the table again. Check at which sine angle is 1. Sine 90 is 1. So simply a plus b is equal to 90 degrees. Cos theta is 3 by 2, sorry, root 3 by 2. So again table, at cos theta is root 3 by 2, the value is 30 degrees, because it's cos 30 I am getting as root 3 by 2. So now a minus b is equal to 30 degrees. So simply just add these two, I will get 2a is equal to 120 degrees. So a value is 60. Substitute a value in any of this equation. I will substitute in okay, a, I will get 60 plus b is equal to 90. So I will get b value as 30 degrees. Okay, so this step will give you 1 mark, and these two values will give you 1 mark. Always remember, we have step marking in a board exam, not the final answer is the total answer. Okay, step marking is very important. So always write each step properly, because each step will carry you, it is few marks. Okay, so now let's go to 3 marks question. We have 29th question, and here we have an optional, either we can solve this question or B part, which you can another question. So as per CBSE standard, what is the rule is, if you want to solve both the questions, you can solve it, but the marking will be only provided for the first answered question. So this way, whichever you feel confident, that question you can solve it. If you are feeling doubt, then don't solve the second one, only solve only one question, because that question will give you full marks, because if the second question, even though it is right, you will not get any mark. Okay. Let's solve this question first. So sin theta plus cos theta is root 3. We have to prove tan theta plus cot theta is equal to 1. Okay. So for this, so for this type of question, always remember to use the identities. So which are cos square theta plus sin square theta equal to 1, secant square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1, and the third identity cosecant square theta minus cot square theta equal to 1. So for this we have sin and cos. So it is the first, but here you don't have square terms. So simply first point is we have to squaring on both sides. So if you do squaring on both sides, what it will become? Sin theta plus cos theta whole square is equal to root 3 whole square. So what is a plus b whole square? A square plus b square plus 2ab. So this becomes sin square theta plus cos square theta plus 2 sin theta cos theta. Root 3 whole square is 3. For the first identity again, what is sin square theta plus cos square theta? The value is 1. So 1 plus 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to 3. If I move 1 to the other side, I will get 2 sin theta cos theta, which is equal to 3 minus 1. So 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to 2, or simply sin theta cos theta value I got it as 1. Okay, so this keep it as 1. Now let's see what they are asking. Tan plus cot we have to prove it as 1. So let's write it. What are tan theta plus cot theta? So let's write in terms of sin and cos. So this becomes 1 by sin theta by cos theta plus cos theta by sin theta. Okay, what is, if you take LCM, this becomes sin square theta plus cos square theta by sin theta cos theta. So square theta plus sin square theta we already know which is 1. So this value is nothing but 1 by sin theta cos theta. We already got what is sin theta cos theta, which is 1. So this value is also 1. Hence you have to write tan theta plus cot theta is equal to 1. So this is very easy question. Just as I told you, for these type of questions we have to use the identities, then we can solve this type of questions very easily. Okay, let's see the B part. So B part they are asking to prove cos A minus sin A plus 1 by cos A plus sin A minus 1 as this value. So if you notice on the right side we have cosecant and cot, whereas on left side we have sin and sin. Okay, so for this, if we divide by sin or cos, we can convert into tan and cot, so cosecant and cot. So for this, cot is nothing but cos by sin. Okay, so for that we have cos here, so simply I will divide by sin on both sides, I mean numerator and denominator. Divide by sin numerator and denominator. Okay, so if you divide by sin numerator and denominator, cos by sin, we will get cos by sin is nothing but cot A, sin by sin is nothing but 1, and 1 by sin is nothing but cosecant A. Same way, denominator, cos by sin is nothing but cot, sin by sin is nothing but 1, and minus 1 by sin is nothing but cosecant. Okay, so hope you understood till here. Now we have to get what we have to prove. Right side I should get only cosecant plus cot. I don't want this minus 1, and this value should be 1. So for this I will use again identity. Cot A plus cosecant A, I will keep it as here, and I will keep it as minus 1 by denominator. Let's keep it as it is, because this value we have to convert into 1 later. Okay, so for this one I will use identity, which is, if you remember, we have the third identity, which is cosecant square A minus cot square A is equal to 1. We are going to use this in the place of 1. Okay, now let's write it. Cot A plus cosecant A minus of cosecant square A minus cot square A by cot A minus cosecant A plus 1. Okay, so here we have a square minus b square. So let's use that a square minus b square formula, which is a minus b into a plus b. Cot A plus cosecant A. Okay, if I take directly I'm writing, if I take cos A plus cosecant A as common, I will get 1 minus of cosecant plus cot. Cosecant A plus cot A. So in denominator I already have what I already have, cot A minus cosecant plus 1. Cot A minus cosecant A plus 1. So if you notice, both are same. Okay, hence I will get the value as cot A plus cosecant A. So we have to also write at denominator, then it will be better. Cos minus sin plus 1, cos A minus sin A plus 1 by cos plus sin minus 1. Cos plus sin minus 1 is equal to cot A plus cosecant A. Okay, make sure to keep a box for the final answer, because sometimes in invigilator first we will this final answer and then we will go step by step backward. Okay, so this proof will carry half mark, this will carry half mark, and the using relation, this carries 1 mark, and the conversion will carry 1 mark. Okay, so the total 3 marks, and each step will have some weightage. So that's why you have to make sure to write each step clearly, so that invigilator can check and mark your answers properly. Okay, so in this way the concepts behind this chapter have been solved. At the same time, the questions of sample paper along with options has been solved. Okay, so thanks for watching. So in the next video we'll cover chapter 9. Mostly tomorrow I'll try to keep a live session and explain this. Okay, thanks for watching, and let's meet again mostly tomorrow with chapter 9 sample paper questions. So thanks for watching, and if you have any doubts you can directly post in our channel community section. So this I have enabled for subscribers. So if you want to have any doubts, kindly subscribe to my channel, and then you can paste your question directly in the community section. And I will definitely check, and then I will respond to you within 1 or 2 days. At max within 1 day I will try to respond to your questions. Okay, let's meet again tomorrow, mostly tomorrow, by chapter 9 questions, which is heights and distances, that is applications of trigonometry. Thank you.